Eric here with another video regarding Senate confirmations. I'm not surprised. I have given up hope that any Republican understands the ramifications of their decisions. As I said in my prior video regarding Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation, the same thing happened with Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s confirmation, RFK Jr. He has been confirmed. The same vote lines, 52 to 48, with one Republican senator, Senator Mitch McConnell, voting no with all Democrats. The rest of the senatorial Republicans voted yes to confirm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the next Secretary of Health and Human Resources. Health and Human Services. My background is human resources. But again, not surprised. I have no faith in the Republicans, not even the ones who asked hard questions that he could not even answer correctly. So to remind people, the state of North Carolina, both of our senators, Senator Thom Tillis, who is up for re-election in 2026, and Ted Budd, who is up for re-election in 2027. They need to go. They need to go because either A, they are scared of being primaried by Elon Musk, who is not an elected official, and President Trump. Why are they so scared of those two people? I want someone to answer that question because I cannot think of a legitimate question, a legitimate answer to that question. It is ridiculous. Confirming someone who has not backed off about the worm in his brain, supposedly, taking an ad out saying that he killed a bear and put the head in Central Park, an anti-vax person, a conspiracy type of person, and saying he can make America healthy. Yet he's eating double cheeseburgers from McDonald's just like President Trump. Next up is, what is his name? Kash Patel, to be the director of the FBI. And he is a QAnon conspiracy person. This is a circus, and you can't make this up. And all of us now, all of us, are under the finding out phase of hashtag FAFO. People, I'm telling you, keep the receipts. Keep the receipts, because starting next year, 2026, a new election cycle for the House of Representatives and senators in your states will start at that year. We have to get through 2025, but starting in 2026, get them out. Get them out. Get Thom Tillis out. Get Ted Budd out. Get Josh Hawley out if you can. Roger Marshall, Jerry Moran. I can't remember the other senator in Missouri. The reason I'm talking about Missouri because I used to live in Kansas City. But all these people, hell, even in the South, Tommy Tuberville, get his ass out too. On the House of Representatives side, I don't know what can happen to get Marjorie Taylor Greene out, Lauren Boebert out, Nancy Mace out, who's thinking about running for governor of South Carolina. Not to mention the fact the senators in South Carolina, Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham, licking the boots of President Trump. Get them out. Get them out. They lied. I'll give them a little bit of grace. They lied because they were lied to. So now we are in the finding out phase because of all these people voting for President Trump and people not voting at all. They did not vote at all. And I will say this about the Democratic Party. You need to think about, because this is the second time that we could not get a woman into the presidency. I'm not saying that a woman should not be president, but there are more women in the country than there are men, so why couldn't a female become a president? But there's something going on. There's something going on. As far as the media on the left side, we need to support them. Because on the right side media have been doing this since 2016. You need to start watching these progressive content creators like News Nation, No Lie by Brian Taylor Cohen, Democracy Docket, Mark Elias, The Damage Report, Keith Edwards, so on and so on. Find them, watch them, their podcasts, their YouTube channels, all of those. Because there's nothing that we can do to stop these confirmations, except in 2026, we need to get the House of Representatives and the Senate back. Because if we don't, then that tells me the United States citizens don't give a fat, happy rat's ass. I'm giving grace right now, but if we don't get this back in 2026, that lets me know y'all don't give a fat, happy rat's ass. So you marinate on that while you're looking for lower prices of eggs, because that's how you voted. Most people voted him into the presidency because of grocery prices. You don't understand. If that's how you voted, you don't understand how the economy works. You don't. And in transparency, I knew about a little bit, but I got more information about the economy because I decided to create my own small business. And that's going to be a problem with me because, again, you didn't put the right person in the presidency. You didn't. And if you're listening to some of the anger in my voice, I try to keep a cap on it, but sometimes I can't. Because as I said before, people don't give a fat, happy rat's ass. They don't. They want this country to go back to be whitewashed. And I'll remind you, all these people, particularly the MAGA side, kept saying Project 2025 is not a thing. President Trump put one of the co-authors into a finance position. He told you, actually, let me backtrack that. He told you he had nothing to do and didn't know anything about Project 2025. He lied. How many times do people have to tell you that he lied? Well, this is the last time I'm telling you. We told you, we told you, and we told you, and that's why that hashtag was created. Y'all fucked around, and now you're finding out. Now you're finding out. And then in the news today, they're coming for Medicaid and the SNAP benefits. They're coming to that, trying to get rid of $880 billion that is supporting the poorest of us. They're coming for that. And I will tell you this, if they're coming for Medicaid, do you really think they're not going to touch Social Security, Medicare? If they're going to shut down the Department of Education, do you think that's when they're going to stop? Of course not. But the reason I need y'all to focus, in fact, I need y'all to refocus. He is the director, President Trump is the director of chaos. And his oligarchy, the leader of the oligarchy, Elon Musk, is his agent of destruction. And while they're getting rid of all of these things and then setting up all these tariffs, under the table, y'all probably missed this in the news, but there is a bill for a new contract between the Defense Department and Tesla to spend $400 million to buy the Cybertrucks from Tesla to become remanufactured for the military. Really? Y'all are spending all that money, and I'll remind you, first president ever to go to the Super Bowl, and it cost us $18 million. But have you heard anything, one iota, anything about resetting and rebuilding Los Angeles County or any other area in California that has burned? Have you heard any iota about the middle of Florida that was pretty much destroyed, not just by Hurricane Milton, but Hurricane Helene? And have you heard one single iota about Western North Carolina? The new Secretary of Transportation came down, and I'll remind you, he is a former Fox News host, just like the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. And then they're trying to get rid of FEMA, even though they keep saying that they're going to speed up the process and get rid of the red tape of FEMA. Well, guess what? The way to speed it up or to get rid of the red tape is to shut it down. And those are the words that came out of President Trump's mouth. That's what he said. So I don't know. But going forward, I think some of my political videos, I'm just going to chuckle while I'm talking about that, because again, we're in the finding out phase. And it's not that I'm finding out. I learned some things about Elon Musk because I didn't even know who he was, other than the owner of X and the owner of SpaceX and the owner of Tesla. That's all I knew about him. But now that I know that he's the leader of the oligarchy, oh yes, I'm joining to other people and standing against Elon Musk and against the Trump administration. But I will say this, this is a little laughable, and I'm glad this came up in my mind so that I can laugh, because I know that I'm yelling. President Trump has done one thing that I agree with. but he's half-stepping. Get rid of the pennies. They are so annoying. Get rid of the pennies. But those other things that I was talking about that a real leader would be focusing on, the other thing that he did in executive order, bring the plastic back. If you don't know, if you don't believe that President Trump does not care about climate change, and this is part of the plastic thing and these trash things and everything, believe it now, because he's bringing plastic straws back. I don't use plastic straws. If I know that I'm on my way, say to Starbucks or someplace else to get a drink or something else, I don't take their straw. I have my own recyclable straw. I do. I have my own recyclable straws. Do I have it with me all the time? No. So if I don't have it, if I don't have the straw with me, I'm not taking their straw. I'll just take the cap off and drink it. Yeah, it's annoying. It is. It is. But I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. Do your part. Show me that you actually give a damn. Show me that you care more about other people than just you. I'm not mad at you about caring about yourself. Hell, I care about myself. I'm trying to set up a small business, and every time he does something, it's making it harder. And I'm not even going to talk about what's happening with the farmers in the Midwest. That's probably going to be another video. But his freeze on all of these loans and grants that the SAVE Act that the Biden administration put in place, and he put a freeze on it, guess what? Some of the farmers may have to sell their stock, their machinery, and even their entire land because of what he just did. But like I said, I'm not going to go that deep into it. I'm just going to finish this video and let you know, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We're in the finding out phase, and I need you to get off your asses and care. Get rid of these people who don't care about you. They do not care about you. Particularly the education. He wants all the states to take care of their own education. Really? Really? Who's in the bottom about education? Mississippi and Alabama. They're always on the bottom. But guess what? Who's right there? Who's right there on top of Alabama and Mississippi? North Carolina and South Carolina. But you know the thing about North Carolina's education? South Carolina and Virginia, our states that are connected to our borders, Virginia to the north, South Carolina to the south, they spend more per pupil than North Carolina does. And yet the North Carolina Assembly wants to take money and taxes from us to fund private schools. And that money would come out of public schools to fund the private schools. Who are these people? Who are these people? If you want your child to go to private school, good. I got no problem with that. But you pay it for yourself, because there's a reason why it's called private schools. You pay it on your own. I went through public school. I went to public college when I went to community college for my first 2 years, but then I finished my college education in a private school. Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I got student loans too, trying to get them wiped out. I'm 62. There's no way that I'm going to be able to. In fact, most of the principal has already been done. And then what the balance is just interest. So I'm trying to get that wiped out, because there's no way that that interest is going to be paid. It's not. But anyway, I'm just rambling now. One thing that I'm trying to stop doing on my videos is rambling. So I'm going to stop this video. Again, RFK Jr. has been confirmed. Kash Patel is on deck. Nothing we can do, but I need you to keep the receipts so that in 2026 we can get the House of Representatives and the Senate back. Y'all have a good evening.